may I know from you, still being honest with us, do you know some of your party members in leadership of your party who have acquired government lands in Cantonment, Roman Ridge, Airport Residential Area? Do you know, perchance?
Mr. Chairman, frankly speaking, I don't go about asking people about their assets and listen, frankly speaking. So if I visit, say, the chair of the committee who, we've been in this house and worked together on so many things, and I say, oh, you have a nice house. How am I going to be asking, oh, how did you acquire this land?
That's when okay. I think no.
So I just don't know. I don't know. Frankly speaking, I don't.
That's okay. Fair answer. Somebody may not like you, but your sincerity would always precede you. And I put that out for public consumption with the little interaction I've had with you. Now, do you have some of your party members who live in the Roman Ridge area, Cantonment, Airport Residential Area, since you visit them, some of your party leaders, colleagues in Parliament, colleague NDC members outside of Parliament, do you have some of them living in these areas? I don't want you to mention names, but do you have some of them living in these areas?
Frankly speaking, Mr. Chair, I've been scanning my mind to see who did I know. The only person that I used to visit and play tennis with, he was then the minister, Honorable Mama Yaga, when he was around the Roman Ridge. And since we lost power, he left there. I don't know, but I knew that probably he was there because he was a government official or minister, because I could see then Honorable Kumbo was next to him. So we go and play tennis together and do a lot of things together. In Roman Ridge, in Cantonment...
Okay, let's deal Cantonment specifically, currently.
Frankly speaking, I'm scanning my mind to see whether I've visited any of my colleagues in these two areas. On my honor, no. I can't recollect now whether I've visited anybody in that area. Unless if you see me around any of this area with somebody, you can ask whether, when I visited, I asked him whether he owns a house or the land. Maybe
I've moved away from ownership. Honorable Leader, I intend to be very brief.
Thank you.
But your question, we are ordinarily entitled to follow-ups. So if you are brief, I'll be brief.
Okay. I think that's a good, what do you call it, sign you've given me. I'll try to be very
And
good.
as you may be aware, your vetting today comes under a special dispensation.
I have no doubt about that, and I'm grateful.
For the very security reasons, and it's in the public interest that we take you today for the sake of our country. And as my respected colleague Kennedy Japan and Napo normally say, this is about systems and policies, not NDC MPP. So we are doing this for the country and nothing MPP NDC. I'm just limiting it to
and we are grateful.
Critical issues.
Sincerely grateful.
How close are you with Honorable Haruna Idrisu?
I would say very close.
Do you visit him in his house? Sometimes?
Yes. Around Bank Hospital. Yes.
That's Cantonment.
Yes, I've visited him before. Sorry. Yes. That's what I told you. I was scanning my mind to see.
So yes. You know he lives at Cantonment?
Yes, I know.
Very well. That's okay. Now, let's deal with the time you left the majority front bench. You recall that Mr. Speaker said this to you. I want to quote Mr. Speaker on the floor. He told you that when one door closes, many more are open. Do you recall this?
Yes, I do.
How good do you feel being an interior minister today, having this statement of Speaker on the floor of the House in mind, especially when those were your very low moments?
Well, let me admit, even apart from what he said on the floor, I'm grateful to Mr. Speaker because we met in his chamber and he repeated same and advised me, you are a member of the Pan-African Parliament, look well.
You know you are going to the mosque.
Yes. So when he said that in Pan-African Parliament, not long before I became the chair of the Committee on Monetary and Finance, and that has opened so many other opportunities to the extent that if you admit, most of the time, I'm not seen on the floor because I was so busy with that. So yes, once that door closed, so many others opened, and I'm grateful for that.
Including this one?
Yes.
Including this one?
Yes.
Okay. Were you expecting this? Yes, no.
Well, I am the one I'm type who live by the day and put my trust in my maker. So I don't wake up expecting things. I just say the will of Allah be.
In 2020, you made your 6-year-old daughter vote, correct?
Yes.
Do you regret doing that openly?
No. I mean, my belief, Mr. Chair, was that this was, I mean, I'm very fan of Khadija. She insisted she wanted to be here today. I said no, she should go to school. Very fan of her. I mean, you have 20 children, but sometimes you'll be very fan of one. She said, Daddy, can I see how voting is done? So I said, oh, don't worry, when we get there, I will. So I pulled her by my side to vote. Yes, I must admit, the votes are supposed to be secret.
So in other words, you
didn't
didn't consider the legality or otherwise of your action.
That's the thing.
You did it out of love and passion for
yes,
daughter.
Knowing that her seeing it and even using her hand to do it doesn't really mean anything to her apart from just having the feel that, oh, I now know what they do.
I am letting you know that it was wrong in law.
Yes. Later, when it came up, I said, oh, yeah, it's true, because one is supposed to be secret.
You get the opportunity to apologize to Ghanaians?
I did.
Very well. Honorable Muntaka, in 2009, when you were a young person in government, you encountered some controversies. Which controversies ended up as charged, and you were cleared. This committee will be happy to have the report of Shrine. That is, if you procure the copy for yourself. I say so because as public servants of the political class, our being there is driven by perception. It is therefore important that when a litigation has come to an end, we let the same public know the status of it. If you don't mind, and if you have it, would you want to share that report that cleared you of any wrongdoing?
Mr. Chair, because I relocated from Ashabotre to my new place, I moved, you know how we receive documents in Parliament. I moved most of the documents to the library in my community. In fact, they are still in sacks. I'll make effort to see if I can get it. I'll let you have it.
Fair enough. My very last question, so you can go to the mosque. You've assured the country today that you are a moderate politician, correct?
Yes.
You've also assured the nation today that your tenure will not tolerate partisan violence, correct?
Yes.
You are also telling Ghanaians that you don't subscribe to all the post-election violence we are having in the country, correct?
I condemn it, yes.
You also assure the nation, particularly the investor community, that you will do all you can to protect their investment in Ghana.
Yes.
You also verily assure all Ghanaians, especially your political adversaries, to be specific, the MPP members who are in opposition, that your office will not tolerate political vendetta.
Yes.
On oath, you have said that you will lead your ministry to introduce reforms at our various security agencies. You still committed to that,
yes,
which you said on oath?
Yes.
Now, to end it all, you have praised the security agencies, particularly the police. And let me say that the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Akufu Dampare, many may have their own views about him, but I am one person who respects him, admire him, and believe that if we have his type consistently manning our police service, Ghana will be a better place. There may be some disagreement about his style, but I personally believe that what he has done for the nation in terms of security is one that we must all celebrate. What would be your own advice to anybody who would suggest that because he was an appointee of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and he's not 60 yet, an energetic, competent IGP should be removed by virtue of changing power? What would be your advice?
Well, I can assure you that when, by the grace of God, this House approves of my nomination and I join the team, definitely there will be assessment of all the team members. You know, His Excellency President Mahama has a vision and objective for which Ghanaians have voted for him. All that will be reviewed in line. And those that, in the views of His Excellency President Mahama, will be helpful in assisting him to achieve their objective, you can be rest, especially in the national interest, I will support it. But I will not be able to deal with specific individuals to give assurance that, oh, after this person, he will go. After this person, he will stay. In fact, me, myself, I do not have that power. Even as Minister for Interior, I do not have that power. I can only make a recommendation about one individual or the other to His Excellency the President. And that decision is that of the President, which all of us are serving at his mercy. So I will not be able to give any definite answer, but I can assure you, I believe, meeting, since I was nominated, interacting with them, I can see that they are breaking their back to keep us safe. They need to be encouraged. We need to support the system so that the system will continue to improve and be able to protect all of us. That's assurance you can get from me. But as to who will go, who will stay, I do not have that power. The best or the worst I can do is to recommend to His Excellency, and that is for him. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, indulge me. I've sought the leave of my respected chairman to do this one more exercise, and bear with me. You know how this our enterprise is. I take you back to 2016. In 2016, November, December, thereabout, President Mohammed's government granted some approvals for what they call clearance we hear clearance for some public institutions to recruit. I will zone in on the security services, particularly police, immigration, fire, and prisons. This recruitment began around November and into December, after even the elections. These young men and women entered the training schools even whilst we were celebrating. And in March of 2017, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo went to Fosu, the immigration training school there, and officiated the passing out ceremony of those recruitments that took place in December. I want to ask you, there is general apprehension in town. There were Ghanaians who were recruited and are training. If you go to police training school at Tesano, there are Ghanaians, male, female, training. If you go to Fosu, if you go to Tafo, immigration, there are Ghanaian youth training, fire, training schools, all over. They are training. In fact, since I became a member of parliament in 2013, I have benefited from ministers of interior coming to support MPs that bring your constituent to allow balance. When I was in opposition, when you were in opposition, they gave you some. All MPs, they pass it through our leaders. So, on authority, I know that those Ghanaian youths who are training are not MPP so-called, but they are Ghanaians who, they are MPs. I'll go there, please. Honorable, can I finish my question respectfully? No, can I finish my question respectfully? The chairman controls this meeting.
Order.
All right? I speak facts.
Please, order. Honourable member, proceed to
Very well.
ask your question.
Be tolerant. You are a friend of this committee. I'm not going to mention names, but if you want me to mention names, I can, because we are dealing with national issues here. Please. From 2017 all the way to 2024, when elections were being held, NDC MPs got protocols for recruitment. MPP MPs got protocols for recruitment. Some, that's correct. That's a good qualifier. Some, that's correct. Ghanaian youth who bought forms had the opportunity. Would you ensure that Ghanaians who are currently in training will conduct their training peacefully, and upon completing their training, you as minister or anybody authorized by you will officiate their passing out ceremony? Honorable nominee, please, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I think facts are always available to check. What I have said, and I'm repeating, is that I, Muntaka Mohamed Mubarak, I will act in the best national interest. That's, I will say on this. I will act in the best national interest. That's all I will say.
Honorable nominee, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. You will hear from us. And that's a very mature response. And I think I'm satisfied. Thank you.